Yeah, hey guys, this is Joffrey Goothlunk here. Yeah, hey, I am kind of, I don't know, on a rant. I got a rant today that I think I'm gonna have. Anyway, it's about living the lawn care lifestyle. You know, um, yesterday I was out. It was freezing cold, bitter cold. The wind was blowing hard. It did not feel like spring. It felt like January, probably at best. Um, anyway, my brother was helping me. He's like, "Why are we even doing this? It's so cold and so windy." And I agree, it was. And he goes, "We're probably the only lawn care company out here today. Nobody else is working in this weather." It's like, we shouldn't be out here. We need to wait for a different day." And I said, "You know what? It gave me a thought right there. Gave me a thought." And that's why I'm making this video. You're right. We probably are the only people out here. Why? Because we're dedicated and because we're living the lawn care lifestyle. And that's how you succeed, guys. That's how you succeed at stuff like this. You're doing stuff that other people aren't doing. Okay? That new guy that starts out and you see him and you're like, huh, who's this guy this year? I've never seen him before. Well, guess what? Where's he at the next year? He quit because he couldn't handle the lifestyle. Okay? Because he wasn't dedicated. He didn't have what it was to do this business. All right, he didn't have it in him. You know, I think it's great that I was out there and that I was willing to work when I have to work. Okay, it's not always going to be convenient, and it's not always going to be uh, when you want to do it. When you're dedicated in this business and you're willing to put the time in, you have to put the time in when you have to put the time in. That means when it's still 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon and I want to be going and doing something and I have 3 yards to finish because it's rained all week, well, then I'm still mowing and I'm getting it done, right? It means when I come home then on that Saturday or whatever, and I have plans that evening, and I don't work on Sunday doing stuff. That's family time, and that's time I have with my kids and my wife, go to church, and, you know, spend time together because I work a lot, so I got to have that family time. But anyway, when you didn't get the mower deck cleaned out and it's full of sopping wet grass because it's uh, been fertilized by some big company that's over fertilizing and pushing their 8 application agenda, and I'll get to that in a minute. That's another rant. But anyway, you got to go Monday morning then and wake up at 5 o'clock and go clean the deck out before you can go do whatever you're going to do, before you're going to go off to work. And you got to sharpen the blades in. I'm just saying, you have to be dedicated. It is a lifestyle. Now, the reason I say lifestyle is um, it's something I thought about this winter, and it came to my mind yesterday through that whole deal when my brother said, "Why are we working?" But anyway, I used to coach wrestling, guys. I used to be a wrestling coach. I was an assistant coach, but the team that I used to coach with, and it's been probably 6, 7 years since I've coached, but the team that I coached with, they've had a lot of success since then. The coaches that are there were there when I was there. I coached under them. Actually, one of them's moved on to a college level, but they've had a lot of success in the last 3 years, 4 years. They were state champs, actually, the last 3 years. And I was watching a video this winter of the coach being interviewed by our local sports station, a news station. And you know what he said? He said it's a lifestyle. He said these guys buy into this, okay, and they're dedicated. They're working 365 days a year to get better at what they're doing in wrestling. And, it's not just during the season. They're not just working when it's wrestling season from, November through February. No, they're doing it every day to better themselves, to get better at what they're doing. It's the same way here, guys. You got to have that mindset that you got to be thinking about this business if you want to succeed. At least that's how I've had success. It's on my mind a lot, you know. In the wintertime, it's still in my mind. I'm thinking, I'm planning what I'm going to do next. You know, what's my next step for spring, and then in your spring, what are you planning to do in the summer? It's just you got to have dedication and you got to live that lifestyle. You know, I think that's why some of these businesses that start up, that's why they don't succeed. Okay, they're not buying into this. They're not dedicated. And that's what customers want. They want that consistency. They want to see you showing up and working and getting the job done. They don't care if it's rained 3 out of the last 4 days. I mean, they understand, yes. All right, but they still want it done when it's all said and done. They want that yard mowed. And you got to have the dedication and you got to live the lifestyle. All right, guys, I think most of you probably already know that. You know, you guys that are watching my channel, you are living the lifestyle. But anybody that's new, all right, you're going to learn real quick. You got to be dedicated and you got to live this lifestyle. Now, I did refer to something earlier about these lawn care companies, these big ones that treat yards. And I'm talking to the national chains and the big time ones. Matt from Lawn Care Little Guy was asking what would you do, spray or not to spray? And I told him I don't know the answer to that question. That's really up to you. I don't know. Um, you know, other people will answer that. Uh, you know, whether it's worth it or not. But to me, there's one thing that just really frustrates me is the fact that I want to do more of that actually because of the fact that I feel like they are taking advantage of my customers. They're feeding them bad information, right? They're pushing their fertilizer programs of 7, 8 applications, but all they're trying to show is, hey, we got green grass in the spring. Then in the summer they blame it on the dry weather. And no, you know, my own yard, I treat my own yard, I do everything in my own yard. I aerate, I fertilize, I treat some weeds if I need to, but you can have green grass, guys, even in dry spells, and I proved that last summer, my own yard. Um, you know, it's frustrating. It is frustrating to me. They're out to make their money, and they're pushing their agenda. You know, for example, one of my neighbors, it was 7:30 on a Tuesday morning. I don't know what day of the week it was. It don't matter. But anyway, I looked down the street, and here comes this truck, the hose reel sprayer rig on there, whatever you want to call it. There's frost all over the ground. It's 20 degrees. You know, this was back in first part of March. And he's out there walking all over the frost-covered yard doing one of those deals. You know, I don't know what he's putting down, some kind of pre-emergent, I'm sure. But why are we doing it in the frost? Okay, well, I guess he had the dedication I was just talking about. But you gotta do things the right way too. You know, that kind of stuff just frustrates me no end. They're not doing stuff the right way. They have thousands of customers and they're just doing it whenever. And that's where I think the little guys succeed because they know their customer, they know the area, they know when stuff needs to be done. So yes, Matt, I think if you can get into it, get into it. You know, you're gonna you're gonna benefit your customers. You're gonna save them in the long run, and they're gonna have a healthier yard because of it. Another example is in the summertime. I show up to these yards, and one week it looks great. You know, I've mowed it high, I've kept it green and healthy, and then the next week I come, and then the yards burn up, and it's like, what in the world? It hasn't gotten that hot that quick. Well, there's that little flag right there. Here came Mr. I Burn the Yard Company because they went put down their liquid nitrogen and smoked the yard in the middle of summer when it's too hot. And then I get blamed for it basically because I'm the one mowing it. You know, it wasn't their fault. I don't know. It's just frustrating to me. So, yeah, if you guys can, Matt, if you can get into that kind of stuff, I would do it. I don't know. One more quick example. I said how they want to do so many applications of this stuff. They're just pushing you gotta have 7 applications for it to have a successful yard and for it to be looking the greatest. No, you don't. Right? Just one thing that comes to my mind is I had a customer tell me that they came, and I'm sure it was pre-emergent, they were putting down in early March, and it probably had fertilizer in it too. I wouldn't be surprised, because every time I've seen these big companies come and put down their pre-emergent in early March, guess what? The yard greens up right away after it too, so that probably means they're putting nitrogen down with it. But they put it down early March. They told me that. Well, guess what? They'll be there again probably in another week or two, because it'll be 5, 6 weeks and it'll be time for round 2. Well, guess what? The grass is still dormant. It hasn't really even, it's greening up now, but it's still not growing because it's too cold. But that doesn't matter. They're just going to throw more down on top of it. That's what they do in the summer in a drought. Oh, we just throw down some more. I've come to places to mow before where the house is for sale, and I've seen the little flag there right in the corner. It was right in by the person's mailbox, and guess what? They stuck another one right beside it. Okay, and they don't care. They don't care if it's the middle of summer and they already put down, their application, and grass hasn't grown, maybe been cut one time out of the last 6 weeks because we're in a dry spell. Oh, they don't care. They'll just put down another application and burn it some more. I don't know. That's just a rant on me. I don't know if it's the same around your area, guys, but it's just frustrating to me. Anyway, hey, guys, I got to have a smile here because sounded like I was pretty grumpy this morning. But that's just a rant and some things that were boggling my mind. But hey, you guys have a good one. Get out there, be dedicated, live that lifestyle. All right. Talk to you guys later. See ya.